Liverpool push hard for Bradily Barcola as Andoni Iraola and Richard Hughes step up transfer efforts. Liverpool are reportedly intensifying their interest in Paris Saint-Germain winger Bradily Barcola as the club continues to explore ways of strengthening its attacking options. According to the information surrounding the situation, Liverpool manager Andoni Iraola and sporting director Richard Hughes are believed to be working closely together as they look at the possibility of bringing the talented French winger to Anfield. The potential move for Barcola has quickly become one of the most interesting transfer stories surrounding Liverpool. The 23-year-old winger has established himself as an exciting attacking player, combining pace, direct running, technical quality, and the ability to create danger in the final third. For Liverpool, these qualities could make him an attractive target as the club looks to maintain a powerful and competitive attacking squad. Although there is no suggestion that an agreement has already been completed, the latest reports indicate that discussions are progressing positively. Liverpool are believed to be prepared to do everything possible to improve their chances of securing Barcola, with the club's sporting department carefully considering how a potential deal could be structured. Andoni Iraola is understood to be particularly interested in the qualities Barcola could bring to his attacking system. The Liverpool manager wants his team to play with intensity, speed, movement and aggression, and Barcola's style appears to fit naturally into that philosophy. His ability to receive the ball in wide areas, attack defenders, move into dangerous positions and contribute directly to attacking sequences makes him an appealing option. For Liverpool supporters, the possibility of Barcola arriving at Anfield represents an exciting prospect. The French winger has developed significantly since moving to Paris Saint-Germain, and his performances have demonstrated why some of Europe's biggest clubs continue to monitor his situation. Liverpool's interest is not simply based on Barcola's reputation, it is also connected to the way the player could fit into the club's future plans. Liverpool have consistently attempted to build squads capable of competing at the highest level for several seasons, and signing a young, technically gifted attacker would be consistent with that strategy. Richard Hughes is expected to play an important role in any potential negotiations. The Liverpool sporting director has the responsibility of identifying players who can strengthen the squad while also making sure that any agreement makes financial and sporting sense for the club. A transfer involving a player of Barcola's profile would not be simple, particularly because Paris Saint-Germain are unlikely to make negotiations easy. PSG have invested heavily in developing and retaining top-level attacking talent, and Barcola is considered an important part of their sporting project. Therefore, Liverpool would potentially have to present a very attractive proposal if they want to convince the French club to consider a sale. This is where the role of Hughes becomes particularly important. Liverpool would need to determine how much they are willing to spend, what payment structure could work, and whether there are alternative arrangements that could make the transfer possible. The club would also need to understand the player's own position and whether Barcola would be interested in making a move to the Premier League. From Liverpool's perspective, the attraction is obvious. Barcola offers something that every elite team wants: the ability to change the rhythm of a match. When a winger can accelerate suddenly, take on a defender, create space, and attack the penalty area, he can become extremely difficult to control. His pace would also be particularly valuable in a Liverpool side that wants to play quickly. Iraola's football is expected to demand aggressive pressing, fast transitions and intelligent movement. Barcola's ability to operate at high speed could therefore become an important weapon. One of the biggest questions surrounding a possible transfer is where Barcola would play. He is naturally comfortable in wide attacking positions, but his movement allows him to operate in different areas of the final third. That versatility could give Iraola several tactical options. Liverpool could use him as a traditional winger, asking him to stay wide and attack fullbacks 1 versus 1. Alternatively, he could be encouraged to move inside, creating space for an overlapping fullback while becoming an additional threat around the penalty area. That tactical flexibility could make Barcola extremely useful over a long season. Liverpool compete in multiple competitions, meaning that the manager needs players capable of performing different roles and adapting to different opponents. Barcola's arrival would also increase competition within Liverpool's attacking department. Competition for places is often one of the most important elements of a successful squad because it forces players to maintain high standards. If a new winger arrives with Barcola's talent and ambition, existing attackers would know that they have to continue performing at their best. However, Liverpool would need to approach the situation carefully. A transfer of this magnitude would require significant financial planning, and PSG would have little reason to sell cheaply. Liverpool therefore have to decide whether Barcola is a priority worth making a major investment in. The fact that Iraola and Hughes are reportedly pushing strongly for the transfer suggests that the player is viewed as more than just an alternative target. If Liverpool genuinely believe that Barcola can become an important part of the team's future, they may be prepared to work hard throughout the negotiations. The player's age is another major factor. Rather than signing an attacker who is already approaching the final stages of his career, Liverpool would potentially be acquiring a player who still has considerable room for development. That could make the transfer attractive from both a sporting and financial perspective. If Barcola continues to improve, his value and importance could increase significantly over the coming years. There is also the Premier League factor. Moving from League One to English football would represent a major challenge. The Premier League is known for its physical intensity, speed, demanding schedule and tactical variety. Barcola would need time to adapt, but his athletic qualities could help him make that transition. Liverpool would likely expect him to contribute quickly, but they would also have to give him the right environment to develop. Iraola's responsibility would be to integrate him into the tactical structure while allowing him to express the individual qualities that have made him such an attractive target. For supporters, the biggest excitement would come from imagining what Barcola could look like in a Liverpool shirt. His direct style could make him particularly dangerous in transition. Imagine Liverpool winning possession in midfield, quickly finding Barcola on the flank and allowing him to attack an isolated defender. That kind of situation could become a recurring feature of the team's attacking play. His ability to carry the ball could also help Liverpool escape pressure. When opponents press aggressively, having a winger who can receive possession under pressure and drive forward can provide an important outlet. At the same time, Barcola's movement away from the ball could create opportunities for teammates. Modern football is not only about what a player does when he has possession. Intelligent movement can open spaces, pull defenders out of position and create passing lanes for others. This could be particularly important for Iraola's tactical ideas. A manager who wants constant movement needs attackers willing to work without the ball as well as with it. Liverpool's pursuit of Barcola therefore appears to be based on a combination of present quality and future potential. The club is not simply looking for another name to add to the squad, it is looking for a player who could become a major component of its attacking identity. Nevertheless, PSG's position will remain crucial. If the French club considers Barcola an important part of its long-term plans, Liverpool could face a difficult negotiation. The French giants have considerable financial resources and do not necessarily need to sell one of their most exciting players. That means Liverpool may need to demonstrate strong commitment if they want to make progress. Hughes could potentially have to negotiate for a long period before both clubs find common ground. The player's own ambitions could also influence the situation. A move to Liverpool would offer Barcola the opportunity to test himself in one of the world's most competitive leagues and potentially become a key player at one of Europe's biggest clubs. For Barcola, the Premier League could provide a new stage on which to demonstrate his abilities. For Liverpool, signing him could represent an investment in the next generation of attacking talent. There is also the question of Champions League football and major trophies. A player of Barcola's ambition will want to compete for the biggest prizes, and Liverpool's project could be attractive if the club can demonstrate that it intends to challenge consistently at the highest level. This is why the coming stages of the negotiations could be extremely important. If Liverpool can convince PSG to engage seriously and can also establish a positive relationship with the players' camp, the possibility of a transfer could become much more realistic. However, until an agreement is officially reached, Liverpool supporters should remain cautious. Transfer discussions can change quickly. A negotiation that appears positive one day can become complicated the next, especially when major European clubs are involved. For now, the important point is that Liverpool's interest appears serious. Iraola and Hughes are reportedly determined to explore every possible avenue, and the club is believed to be prepared to make a significant effort to bring Barcola to Anfield. The potential signing would also send a message about Liverpool's ambitions. Rather than simply replacing players when necessary, the club would be attempting to add another high-level attacking talent capable of competing for a starting position. If the deal eventually happens, Barcola could become one of the most exciting additions to Liverpool's attack. His speed, dribbling, creativity, movement and ability to attack space could give Irola another dangerous weapon. The manager could potentially build specific tactical patterns around him. Liverpool could isolate Barcola against defenders, create overloads on one side of the pitch, or use his movement to open spaces for central attackers. Another interesting possibility would be the relationship between Barcola and Liverpool's midfielders. Quick combinations between the winger and creative midfielders could allow the team to progress rapidly through the final third. The fullbacks could also benefit. When Barcola stays wide, he can stretch the defensive line. When he moves inside, a fullback can attack the space outside him. This creates tactical uncertainty for opponents because defenders must constantly decide whether to follow the winger or protect the wide area. That uncertainty is one of the reasons elite managers value versatile attackers. Liverpool would also be getting a player who can potentially develop his finishing if Barcola becomes more consistent in front of goal. While maintaining his ability to create chances, he could eventually become a complete attacking threat. The development of his decision-making will also be important. At the highest level, talented wingers must know when to dribble, when to pass, when to cross, and when to attack the penalty area themselves. Irola could play an important role in helping him make those decisions more consistently. This makes the potential partnership between Barcola and Irola particularly interesting. The manager would not simply be signing a finished product. He would potentially be working with a young attacker who still has the potential to improve considerably. Richard Hughes, meanwhile, would have to ensure that the financial side of the operation remains sensible. Liverpool cannot simply allow excitement around a player to determine the price. The club must consider the transfer fee, wages, contract length, bonuses, and the player's long-term value. That balance between ambition and financial discipline will be crucial. If Liverpool eventually succeed, the transfer could become one of the defining moves of the summer. Barcola arriving at Anfield would immediately generate huge expectations, but it would also give the squad another attacking option capable of changing games. There is no guarantee that the transfer will happen. PSG could reject Liverpool's proposal, the financial demands could become too high, or another factor could disrupt the negotiations. But the reported progress means the story deserves close attention. Liverpool supporters will now be watching for every new development. The question is no longer simply whether Liverpool admire Barcola. The bigger question is whether Hughes and the club's hierarchy can turn that interest increase into an agreement.